Hello and welcome to East Yorkshire. We're here for the Northern Carp Cup final at the beautiful and stunning Newbridge Lakes. A 7-acre venue with fish to over the £34 mark is going to make this perfect for this competition. With still 4 places left up for grabs in the British Carp Cup final, we're sure in for a great weekend. These guys are going to be battling it out, desperate to get in one of those places. Remember, it's a 48-hour competition. It starts at 12 o'clock Friday and finishes at 12 o'clock Sunday, where we'll be crowning our new Carp Cup champions. So let's head down to the lake to former champion and resident expert Paul Monkman.
What a fantastic weekend we've got on our hands here. Not only have we got the defending champions, we've got a former champion, 5 lads who've never even fished it before, and a few venue regulars. We don't really know which way the match is going to go. My thoughts: pegs 1, pegs 2, peg 6, peg 7 and maybe peg 8. There's a lot of fish there as we arrived. They'll be on the surface, the weather's warm. If those lads can capitalise on the top, they could do well. I'm here on the balcony of the house that overlooks the lake, owned by Lance. Lance is going to join me now. Lance, what can you tell me about Newbridge?
Well, it was originally a gravel pit from the 1700s and it's been filled with water since 1930. In the 60s, the owners then filled it with trout, which they've long gone now. 89, there was the first introduction of mirror carp. And then in 93, they introduced 300 commons. We took over in 1999 and opened it as a day ticket. And we stocked in 2000 approximately 1,000 carp at 6 to 8 inch, which are now 1930s, the lake record being £36 4 ounce.
Oh, fantastic. So you're expecting quite a good match this weekend?
I am, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's looking promising. And I think second night always does better than the first night. So I imagine the Saturday night, we're really sure how things are going to go.
So in peg with Wayne Mansford, Ryan Need. Wayne predicted an early bite due to the amount of fish down in the corner where he's fishing. So we're going to stay with Wayne now and see if his prediction comes true. There's the hooter. And as you can see, there's a few fish knocking around. Quick hit tactic. Looks like a bite. Oh, he's come off. But what a great start. So looking back across the lake, and Wayne and Ryan are into their second fish. That first fish lost, but these boys are always going to capitalise on fish that are over them. Very difficult times this is. Wayne's nerves will be going, especially after losing that first fish. Ryan poised in the water with a net. Very difficult with all that weed on the line. Ryan goes for it. Is it over the cord? Yes. Those boys are going to be really happy with that. Always a difficult one to land your first fish, especially after losing one. I'm sure Ryan and Wayne's nerves are going to be relaxed. Arms in the air from Wayne. I think that says it all, really. Looks to be a good fish. Up she comes.
We were just talking about that.
What's known as a ghost carp, due to its colouring. A beautiful common carp of just over £30.
Yeah.
Fantastic for the boys in peg 8. So let's head down to Lee and have a quick chat with Wayne and Ryan.
Here we are in the swim with Ryan Need and Wayne Mansford. Managed to snare a fish early on. Wayne, tell us a little bit about your fish.
Yeah, I was quite fortunate. I managed to bag one of the lake's biggest ghosties, about 31.15 I believe.
What a cracking fish it is. You also had a privilege to rename this fish.
Yeah, I was given the nickname last year by Ian, the Ginger Prince. I don't know why, so we just thought it would be fittingly to call the fish the Ginger Prince.
It's one of the unknown residents from this lake, I take it.
I believe so the owner was saying, yeah.
And there we go, an unknown fish caught by Wayne, renamed. Ryan, tell us about your tactics for today.
It was just like the fish have been coming in quite close because we're fishing in the owner's garden and not many people get to fish in this swim, so the fish come real close. So what we're doing is just seeing where they're going, dropping a little bag on top of them and just sitting back, hence why we're sitting back up here waiting away from the rods, keep everything nice and quiet.
Well, no sooner has Wayne and Ryan return their fish and we look across the lake, Pete Robinson, Martin Langtry are into their first fish of the competition. days for those boys. Lovely mirror carp, £15 2 ounces, and a great confidence boost.
Well, I'm here with the reigning Northern Carp Cup champions, Jason and Darren, and our early leaders. So, how did you catch those 2 fish really quickly at the start of the competition?
Well, when I got into the swim, the fish were feeding. The fish were already in the swim on the surface, so without creating too much disturbance, I just kept some feed going in. And by the time the hooter went, they were up for it, and we managed to pinch a couple of fish quite early on.
And I'm looking over at your rods now, and I see you're fishing off the bottom now.
Yeah, we've moved over now. The bigger fish have definitely cleared off away from the top. There is still some bigger fish down in the pads to my left. I've seen a couple of ghosties going in and out, which they give themselves away a little bit.
So, Jason, what sort of tactics are you going to be employing?
Well, obviously Daz, while I've not been here today, Daz has done a good job holding fort, so to speak, so I'm not going to encroach on his tactics, but I'm just going to try. I'll probably fish one down the margins and just feel my way in slowly tonight.
Well, what a fantastic start it's been here at Newbridge Lakes. Normally it takes a long while for the fishing to start in these matches. There's a lot of lines that go in the water and the fish feel pressured and move away. But not today. We've had 4 fish caught in the first 3 hours, 3 of which have been off the top. The first one was caught off the bottom, was a £31 15 ounce ghost carp by Wayne Mansford, which is one of the biggest fish in the lake. But then the surface fishing has taken hold. Martin Langtree had a £15 2 mirror from peg 11, and then Darren Wilcox followed that up with 2 fish off the top, £12 and £22, and he's now in the lead. And it's looking like surface fishing is going to dominate proceedings. Anybody who hasn't brought any surface baits is going to struggle. The weather's warm, fish are up in the surface, and the weather is going to be warm tomorrow.
So as the first day draws to an end, our leaders at the moment are our actual current Northern champions. In first place, Darren Wilcox, Jason Trout with 2 fish, £35 4 ounce. In second place, Wayne Mansford, Ryan Need with that beautiful Ghost Common Carp, £31 15 ounces. In third place, Pete Robinson, Martin Langtree, 1 fish for £15 2.
Look at the scales on that, nice. Perfect.
Close. Oh, hang on. No problem. It's going to be about 17.
Still shaking. Unexpected.
So a beautiful fish there for Liam 7 and David Staniforth, putting them onto the leaderboard. So now peg 6 with our current leaders and current Northern Carp Cup champions, Darren Wilcox and Jason Trout, adding another £18 12 ounce common to their total weight. These boys are starting to pick up a bit of lead now, and I'm wondering if anyone's going to be able to catch them.
Well, I'm in peg 1 with Liam 7 and David Staniforth. Happy with your swim?
Very happy.
What happens on all the British Carp Cup finals is it's an out-the-bag draw. So whatever peg you draw is the peg you have to fish. There's no watercraft involved. It's whatever you pull out of that bag. And a lot of people wanted this swim, and you've got it. And you've had 2 fish.
Yeah, we've had them up at the lily pads, and we keep seeing them moving. So we're just going to keep the bait
Keep
going.
persevering, doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Excellent, that's good news. And you're confident you can catch some more?
Well, the little bait we're putting out, because they don't seem to be feeding as much as yet, with it still being warm, I think we might get some more later on.
So you're confident?
Yeah.
That's good. And you haven't been fishing since March, since you qualified. Yeah. So you've had no chance to practice. No. And you've turned up in this swim and you've caught them.
Yeah.
So welcome back to Newbridge Lakes. Not only have we got the Northern Carp Cup final on here this weekend, we've also got a fun day organised by the guys at Forces Carp. So let's head on over and see what these guys are all about.
Firstly, I'm involved in the founder of Carping for Heroes, which is a 40-hour carp angling event.
Yep.
And what that does, it raises money for charity, namely Help for Heroes. But this year we are also expanding that to give proceeds to Combat Stress, the military's mental health charity, and Forces Carp, which is an angling project that gets wounded, injured and sick veterans out on the bank and out carp angling.
So we've just seen Liam 7 and David Staniforth return their third fish of the competition. They're into another, however this fish has taken them deep into the reeds. This is a real difficult time in a competition. Obviously every fish counts, but these guys are so concerned about fish care, it's now going to be the decision of what to do. So what are their choices? They can keep the pressure on, and you keep the pressure on lightly and the fish may pull back out of the reeds. However, reeds are very difficult because there's a lot of thick stems down there and these fish can get really snarled up. So do you do that? Do you let your bail arm off and allow the fish to maybe swim out? Could it get more tangled? It's such a tough choice for these boys. I think what will happen is it will end up going down to Lance, the fishery owner, to decide what's going to go on.
Because you're wasting a rod, aren't you? You want to try it, Lance? Does it feel as though there's out on? Yeah. I know. But I don't want to leave all that line. No. The 100 times I've been out.
No, the decision's been made. We don't feel that the fish is still on. So what Lance is going to do now, he's decided he's going to get in and just check because he doesn't want to leave any line in his lake, because obviously these sort of things, the fish could still be snagged up in there, but the feeling is that it's not. So Lance is going to get in the lake, he's going to go and have a little look. He's now there trying to find the line. He's going to follow the line and trace it back to where the lead is so that he can find if the fish is still on.
I'll give you some slack.
Obviously fish care is of paramount to these people, and obviously Lance being the fishery owner, it was his decision that this is what he wanted to do. So he's got into the lake, he's got hold of the line, he's now going to follow it back to the other end and see if the fish is still there and if he can free it, because if he frees it the boys could land it and the fish will still count. I think he's got to the lead there. Is there anything there? Big tense moment for the boys this is. Gonna feel it round. No, there's the lead, the fish is gone, so that's nice that we know that the fish isn't snagged up and it's not in any danger. The boys are going to be disheartened, but there we go, that's carp fishing.
Here we are, it's the Saturday evening. It seems there's a battle between pegs 1 and 6. It's a fish for fish trade-off. No sooner has peg 6 had a fish, peg 1 follows it up with a fish close behind. But then they went and lost one that could have put them in the lead. It's a real close battle. So as they head into the night, they're going to be using all their angling ability to try and catch those fish. So who knows, it could be a very interesting morning.
So what a great second day we've had of the Northern Carp Cup. In the lead, still, Darren Wilcox and Jason Trout with 4 fish for £65 14 ounces. Are these two going to be crowned Northern champions for the second time? In second place, Liam 7, David Staniforth. They've consistently caught through the day, sadly losing a fish in the reeds, but they're there with £49 6 ounce for 3 fish. In third place, still on the podium, Wayne Mansford, Ryan Need with 1 fish for £31 15 ounce. And in fourth place, Daniel Holiday, AJ Collier, 1 fish for £24. So with only 3 hours of this competition remaining, and there's another fish on the bank to Ben Timpson and Luke Quantock. They've had a lovely looking common carp, £26 5 ounces, and that's going to push them up into 4th position. So it just shows in these very last dying moments, everything is still to play for. Let's head to Paul on the bank and have a chat with the boys and see what they've been doing.
So I'm in peg 3 with Ben and Luke, and it's been a very slow start for them, but it's come good. You've had a fish, tell us about it.
Yeah, well, it's £26.5 common, caught just from the margin, so alright.
What, over a lot of bait, a little bit of bait?
It was over quite a bit of bait, the TI, and it's caught on a snowman rig.
Yeah, I think we rested the swim yesterday. Oh, rested that part of the swim yesterday. Put a bit of bait in, left it, bobbed it in there last night, and it went this morning. So
yeah, it's a good tactic. A lot of anglers employ that by leaving the swim free, and then let the fish move in with confidence, and then you can get one. So that's now put you into 4th place, and that's a qualifying spot for the British Carp Cup final. So you've got to be happy with that.
yeah, chuffed to bits, but you know everything can change and it's not nailed on. So we'll see how we go. But I think we're only maybe £5 or £6 off 3rd place. So
it's still all to play for.
Yeah, it's still doable. Fingers crossed.
So you're confident you might get another one?
Yeah, I think we were expecting that one, so you know, if it's to be, then it'll happen, and we'll just go sit and wait.
Peg 2 with Craig and Chris. Guys, you've got rods everywhere. What's going on?
Well, yeah, to be fair, when we drew the swim, was really happy with it. You know, we got some nice pads. We've seen a few fish here when we was walking round, but for some reason we just really struggled. Just can't seem to get many bites.
It seems like the angling pressures pushed them into the margins, and it's making life difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult because we can't get to the spots where they're sitting. We've set up some traps that are close, or as close as we can get to them, but we can see just by walking along the edges here that the carp are real tucked up. They're under the trees, they're behind the lilies, and it's shallow in those areas. So even the spots that we've set up, you're down to 9-10 foot of water, and the marginal spots are about 1 or 2 foot deep. So the fish want to be in those shallow areas. So even when they come out the pads, they're in the upper layers of the waters. So it's that bit.
Hence why you've got all your rods set up for zigs and
Yep.
every type of fishing that you can to try and snare yourself a fish.
Yeah, well the bottom has done one bite, which was down there, and unfortunately that we got cut off on a snag down there somewhere. That was on the first night, and the rest of the match we've just been tinkering around with zigs and floaters, crust, anything we can that's a little bit different. We've tried in the pads, we've tried on the edge of the pads. There's fish there and they have been taken, but they're just not confident enough. You can't get enough competition between the fish to get a bite. It's hit and miss.
He's flexing. How did you catch this one, Daz? Tight into them pads in the corner. It was like modern warfare.
Hitting old, was it?
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Here we are back in the swim with our current leaders, Darren and Jason. Had another fish this morning, just over £20. That's extended your lead, gentlemen. You must be pleased.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
To give us a lead now that it would take at least 2 fish to catch us. So we're happy. We're in a good position. Just keep plugging away, doing what we're doing.
Well, there's only 2 hours to go, so your nerves must be jangling. You know, you could be the first pair to retain the title.
Yeah, that side's looking good at the moment, but no, nerves isn't going to get the better of us. We're just going to be too busy doing what we're doing.
So sticking to your same approach and just wait till that final hooter.
Yeah, don't give up.
So as the final moments in this Northern Carp Cup tick away, we're here with Darren Wilcox and Jason Trout, aka the P, waiting for the final hooter.
It's a bit shadowy, but it ain't too bad.
There it is, all smiles from the boys. First pair to retain the Northern Carp Cup Championship, and these boys are definitely a pair to keep your eye on. So there we have it, our final leaderboard, and our 2 times Northern Carp Cup champions, Darren Wilcox and Jason Trout. They led the competition from just over 2 hours in. These guys have done so well to retain their title. They finished with a total weight of 86 pounds 6 ounces for 5 fish, a fantastic achievement for both of them. In second place, Liam 7, David Stanley 4th with 3 fish, 49 pounds 6 ounce. In third place, Wayne Mansford, Ryan Need with that beautiful common carp, 31 pound 15 ounce. And in fourth place with that lake fish, Ben Timpson, Luke Quandock with 1 fish, 26 pound 5.
So there we have it. we have our new Northern Carp Cup champions.
It was a close battle between peg 1 and 6, with the experience of peg 6 eventually shining through and getting them over the finish line. Peg 1 are new to the match scene, but they put up a great effort to eventually finish second.
So without further ado, let's head over to the presentations.
Well, here we are with Jason and Darren, the guys who have successfully defended their title and new 2015 Northern Carp Cup champions. How are you feeling?
Excellent, yeah. I mean, everything's gone to plan really. You know, bit of a year full of bad draws and things like that, but with the out the hat draw in this event, it worked out really well for us. Got what would have been our second choice swim had it been watercraft, and I think we worked the swim quite well. We caught the fish.
That won it
done
for
it.
you.
Yeah, job done.
Yeah, so obviously now you've qualified for the British Carp Cup finals. Are you confident for that one too?
Yeah, we're always confident on any match. You've got to be, but we've never fished a lake, so we'll just probably do a little bit of research,
bit of homework,
bit of googling, ask about. But yeah, we'll take it on the day, see how it goes.
Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
So there we go. We've got 4 more pairs going on to the British Carp Cup final. So let's have a quick look at that lineup. We've got our 4 from the Southern, our 4 from the Midlands and our 4 from the Northern. However, there's been a little bit of a change. The fact that Wayne Mansford and Ryan Need have podiumed in 2 of the events, and Simon Bury and Phil Higgins have also got into the top 4 of 2 of the events, this place is going to move down. So in 6th place, Daniel Holliday and AJ Collier will be qualifying for the British Carp Cups. So that's all from us here at Newbridge Lakes. It's been an awesome end to an awesome regional championships. We've got our Southern champions, Billy Flowers and Jamie Londers. We've now got our Midlands champions, Steve Alford and Dean Crust. And we've also got our double champions, Darren Wilcox and Jason Trout.